Welcome, everyone. We're going to start tonight off with prayer and Pledge of Allegiance. Kelly, would you do the prayer?
Thank you, Lord, so much for this beautiful day. Thank you so much for all the people that have come to help us celebrate Kerry and the many years that he has put in for our city. Lord, I want you to continue to bless him and Beverly and their family as they go forward with his many endeavors. He has a lot. Thank you, Lord, for this evening. And Lord, I hope that you give us the wisdom to make good decisions. We thank you in advance in everything you do. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we get started tonight, we're going to have Sherry Sproul present an award to Kerry Wooten on behalf of the city of Mount Pleasant.
For those of you listening online, it's my privilege to get to hand this plaque to Kerry Wooten tonight. It reads, "With our greatest appreciation, presented to Kerry Wooten, 42 years, in sincere appreciation of your dedication and commitment. City of Mount Pleasant, October 1, 2024, thank you." So Kerry, on behalf of the City of Mount Pleasant, I'd like to honestly give you this plaque and hope you enjoy whatever next adventure you're on. But I did want to say one thing about Kerry Wooten. Kerry, God made dirt, and then he made Kerry Wooten, and Kerry's been around almost as long as the dirt. If there's ever a longevity award to be handed out, this guy should get it without any hesitation. Y'all agree with me? We love you and we appreciate you, and it's been fun for me to get to work with you for this number of years.
Thank you, Sherry. That's true. I've been here a long time. And
Almost as long as the dirt.
It has, and I'm trying to think. Larry is probably the only one that's got me beat, whatever, for a few years. But anyway, I do thank you. There's been a
People online want to hear you.
say the least, and I can give you a lot of stories and a lot of things, but really proud of Mount Pleasant all these years. A lot of bad could have happened. We've lost several industries. We've lost things, but Mount Pleasant just goes right along. Things are good today compared to many, many places, and there's a lot of people you can thank for it. I want to thank Beverly. There's a lot Tuesday night, particularly some of those where there's a water break. Herman can tell you about some of them. Things are pretty late getting home for, but it's okay. It's part of life. What it was. So it's been a good ride, and I thank you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to cross the street over there. They know where to find me. If anything comes up. But just thank you for the privilege and the honor. It's great. Thank you, Sherry. For the privilege. COVID was a challenge, but again, I think the city overcame that year. Thanks, Larry. I think things worked out really well. Thank you a lot. Again, not going anywhere. Just cross the street. Thank you.
There's the best, a goodie basket. It's all like green and gold and white.
Thank y'all. You couldn't have found anything better. I've supported them through thick and thin. And it's a little thin right now, but I'm still there, so. Whatever you choose on it. But thank you, Kelly. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Nothing, I keep it pleased.
All right. Item 1, consider approval of September 17, 2024 regular session and September 24th, 2024 special session minutes. Council, have you had time to look it over?
I reviewed it, make a motion to vote.
Well, I make a motion to approve the minutes. I make a motion to second the minutes.
Aye.
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 Now we move on to item 2, which is public comments. The city welcomes citizens' participation and comments at all council meetings. Citizens' comments are limited to 2 minutes out of respect for everyone's time. Council is not permitted to respond to your comments. The Texas Open Meetings Act requires that topics of discussion and deliberation be posted on the agenda not less than 72 hours in advance of the council meetings. If your comments relate to a topic that is on the agenda, the council will discuss the topic on the agenda at the time the topic is discussed and deliberated.
My name is Debbie Corbell, and I live in the city of Mount Pleasant. And in reference to a vote that was taken evidently last week, I left early. But I cannot tell you how many calls and visits that I've received in the past week about the recent decisions to extend the interim city manager's contract, but primarily about the fact that you basically gave him a $30,000 raise for 6 months. A $30,000 raise for the next 6 months. And the fact that you gave him a raise for doing exactly what he was hired to do in the first place and for the salary he agreed to, it is confusing and disappointing. It reminds me of situations that have happened before, unfortunately. And even if there was justification for a merit increase, not $30,000. Everyone has heard about how bad our finances are. We all know how tight the budget was. The employees felt it. Departments felt it. 2 employees, from what I understand, were laid off after this happened. I know that you all have your decisions to make. I respect your decisions, and I hope to know more in the future about why we would do this, but I will say this, I support you. I can't get all the information that I want, but I really, really ask you to start looking and making a powerful effort to get us a permanent city manager and address some of the issues with our finances. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, I'm Michael Rice. I'm with Joe's Downtown the Coffee Shop. And last year we put on a lantern festival over at the soccer complex. I guess due to some kind of error, it got approved last year and it was not approved this year due to fire code. And I just want to give you guys a forewarning that in 2 weeks at the next city council meeting, I will be putting in a request for an exemption from that fire code for the event. The lantern festival consists of these paper lanterns that have a little piece of wax in the middle. You light it on fire, it fills up, and it's hard to do one-handed. But it's kind of like a balloon, and then it burns away in the air. And if you guys have any further questions, I think Chief McRae should be able to help you guys answer, or I'm over at Joe's. If you just come find me and I can tell you more about it. It's a fundraiser for the community. So.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tricia Rice, and I'm also here about the Lantern Festival. And we're really hoping that this could become an annual event because it brings the community together. We started small last year, and it was so amazing to see all of these lanterns going up and all of the peaceful vibes going out. And so we're just hoping that, I know you can make exceptions for fireworks and whatever, and these are not explosives, so hopefully that's a good thing. So anyway, just, consider it's a community event. We're going to have trunk or treat. We hope we're going to have trunk or treat and some food trucks. We've got a local musician, Katie Ray, is going to come. And just when it comes across y'all's desk, just, keep it right. Be kind and give us some goodwill there. We'd appreciate it. And Carrie's an awesome guy.
Anyone else like to speak tonight? That brings us to item 3 on the agenda. Consider approval of Resolution 2024-15, authorizing the removal of Elaine Rowe as investment officer and removal of Elaine Rowe and Rebecca Roseberry from all certification agreements and investments with the finance institutions on accounts of the City of Mount Pleasant, and adding Gillian Gatewood as investment officer to all certification agreements and investments with financial institutions on accounts of the City of Mount Pleasant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of City Council. So this is somewhat a housekeeping item, and so the law requires you to approve these folks that are certified to do investment accounting. And so because the two individuals listed on here are no longer with the city, we need to name someone to that role, and that is Jillian Gatewood. And so I recommend that council approve this resolution.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance 2024-15.
I second the approval. I just second it.
Aye.
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 All right, that brings us to item 4. Consider award of bid for Southwest Site Development and Drainage Improvements Project.
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, I'm Paul Henderson. I'm the airport director. Anyway, we are pretty well elated about this. We went out for bids last Wednesday, and we had 5 contractors bid on this job. It actually came in about $115,000 less than the engineer's estimate, which always helps. And anyway, Drake Paving out of Paris was the low bidder at $1,367,948.81. I think the highest bid was like $1,578,000 or something like that was on up there. But Drake did our runway extension. They did the asphalt on our runway extension in 2008. Did us a real good job, and I guess it's our recommendation that we award this bid to Drake Paving.
Paul, just a question for clarification for council and the community. So how is this being paid for?
This has been paid for by infrastructure grant from a federal infrastructure grant through the FAA, and it's a 90-10 project. So it's a really good deal for us. We've got think it's $1,645,000 that we can spend now. But, we actually accumulate almost $300,000 a year for the next 2 years. This was a 5-year funding project, and then we're just now getting to the point of spending it. So, but it's a 90-10 project.
Real quick, what's the, so I understand it's a drainage project, but what's the goal of the project? Just so folks understand what we're trying to do here.
You bet. It's 25 acres of the higher ground. It's some of it's low. Needless to say that we're moving the dirt, putting in drainage pipe. One of them's real large, a 42-inch drainage pipe, and other smaller drainage pipes, and moving a tremendous amount of dirt. But when we get through with this project, then we're going to have a flat area. We can build at least a carbon copy of all the corporate air park that we've got now at the airport. So that side of the airport we could more than double. So it's took us 22 years to almost fill up what we've got now. We got one lot left, and but so this will take us way into the future.
Thanks, that's all I had. Appreciate it.
Council, we need a motion.
I make a motion to vote on the award of bid for the Southwest Site Development Drainage Improvement Project for the airport.
I second the motion to move forward and approve the bid for the Southwest Site Development and Drainage Improvement Projects to Drake Paving.
Aye.
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 All right, that moves us to 5. And 5 is to consider resolution 2024-14, authorizing the city of Mount Pleasant to enter into a contract for the Southwest Site Development and Drainage Improvements Project at the Mount Pleasant Regional Airport.
Council, this just goes along with what y'all have just accomplished. This is a resolution, 2024-14, that is required by the FAA, and hopefully tomorrow this will be in the mail and headed to them. But it's just part of a large stack of paperwork, and hopefully we're to the point now that we'll be moving dirt real soon, but it requires this resolution.
Well, I make a motion to move forward with voting on resolution 2024-13, enter into a contract. It's part of the legal requirements for the FAA to proceed with this construction project.
I second.
Excuse me, Candace, so I'm looking at that one as 2024 number 14. Is that correct? So I think you said 13. Paul, do you know which one it is? Or Candace?
I alter it to state 2024-14 resolution to move forward on a vote.
And I second.
Aye.
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 So just to clarify that, thank you, Councilmember Hageman. We will have to make sure we change that before we send that to the that resolution. Okay, thank you.
Moves us to item 6, presentation of Texas Book Festival Grant Recipient Certificate.
Hello, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, Mr. Nyhoff. I just wanted to show that we were awarded the Texas Book Festival grant. We are one of 45 libraries in Texas that were recipients to it. And we're very excited, and I'm open for any questions that y'all have.
So what will the grant, what do you have in mind to use the funds for?
So with this grant, I had to provide what books I was going to purchase with the funds already. So we are going to expand our adult Spanish selection. The average age of our books there are about 15 years old. So we're very excited about revamping that area. So we're expected to purchase about 180 more books in that section.
How did you find out about this grant?
So the Texas Book Festival was actually started by Laura Bush. She's a librarian, so it's been going on for quite a few years. It's a festival they have, and I think their grant has just grown over the years, and it's something that I've kept my eye out on, and I just, whenever it came up for the application process to be opened up, I jumped on it, so.
All right, we'll move to number 7. It's presentation of the H.E.B. Strong Texas Libraries Collection Development Grant.
So I just wanted to also present another grant that we did receive. It is sponsored by H.E.B., and it was for $1,000 to expand our collection. So with this one, I didn't have to select the books beforehand, but just let them know where I was going to be spending the funds. So $500 would go to our adult nonfiction section to update any books that, you know, are no longer relevant or that need updating and fill any gaps in that section. And the other $500 will go to our children's picture book section. And I do have a few things. If we can also get a photo op, they do want that so that they can do advertising on their end. So if you are open to it, we can take a picture afterwards. And I do have a flyer and also a frame of one of the grants that we did receive.
We'll be happy to do that picture with you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I think that's wonderful. Thank you for looking out for grants.
That brings us to number 8. It's consider pay request number 5 for Schneider Electric for work on the meter replacement project.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, how y'all doing? So this is for pay request number 5 for Schneider Electric on the work they're doing for the water meter project. So between August 24th, 2024 and September 20th, 2024, Schneider changed out 979 3/4 inch meters, 171 inch meters, 43 2-inch meters, 1 4-inch meter, bringing that to a total of about 3,829 meters total so far on the project. The lead and copper is still going on, and it's going to be, even after we get done with the meters, that'll still be going on. But so this pay request is for $329,793.65. The original contract was $2,856,630. Billing to date is $1,448,860.80. The remaining contract is $1,407,769.20. And so we recommend that we pay this request.
Anthony, overall, how is this going? You know, there's some of the citizens were concerned that they'd see people in the yard and just did some of those items get addressed in any way that you can, and then a little bit about the lead, how are we coming on that, you know, as far as what we're finding?
So we did address those the very next day, and so we had a meeting with the guys, and they are doing door hangers and stuff that they've let people know early, but they're knocking on the doors trying to make sure somebody's home. As a matter of fact, my pastor's wife texted me, said, "Hey, there's a guy in my yard. He knocked on the door, said I'm doing meters." I said, "Yes, he's doing work for the city." And they're wearing their shirts. They got yellow shirts that has their, I've got Evoqua, and then it's Invacare. That's who they are. Invacare is the water meter people that are putting them in. So that was addressed, and so far I haven't really had anybody else let me know anything, so I think that's going good. As far as the lead and copper, that's going, it's ongoing. They haven't found anything that I know of yet, because if they do, they're supposed to let us know. So it's really going well.
Do you have any updates on, okay.
Don't even have to ask, I know what you're talking about. So actually, I got a, this is, the question she's asking is about the screw pumps at the wastewater plant, for everybody that wants to know. So I actually got an email from Heritage yesterday morning, said that Evoqua contacted them, sent them an email saying that they have moved the two old ones that were getting refurbished. They have put them on the line to start being refurbished, but they are 27 weeks out, so we still have a little ways to go. So the new ones, they haven't pulled the other one yet. We still have it there at the plant. And then the new one, they put it online to go and have it machined and to get everything balanced and stuff. But they said that was going to be 26 weeks. So we still have a ways to go on these, but they are working on them.
So we're still having generators?
Yes, ma'am. We are on bypass, and this is all being taken care of by Heritage. This is no money coming out of the city's pocket whatsoever.
Still am concerned about the future, though, when after this 7 weeks with that warranty issue. Do you have any concerns along those lines, or are you okay with it?
Okay, so I was asked that question just tonight. So on the warranties will not start until you guys approve the final project. So that's when the 1 year starts. But I discussed it with Heritage yesterday morning, and so they are going to be looking at a possible 2 more year warranty, talking with Evoqua, and I'm sure there will be a cost, but what I was explaining is more than likely, and I'm just going to say this, Heritage will not pay for that extra warranty. The city will have to if we want it. I don't know what it's going to cost yet, but they are looking into it.
That's something. That's a start. Thank you.
So we're looking about mid-April, 27, 26, 28.
Yes, ma'am, and the project, that'll be just about right to start off the new plant, to then them to rehab the old plant. So it's gonna, it's gonna be tight. So the project, with the added rain days and stuff, which they haven't brought all of them to you guys to be approved, but there are some coming, because we did have a lot of rain. And so, looking at probably 1st of November now for the project to be finished, when it was originally, I think, June.
Council, we're gonna need a motion to pay the request.
Yeah, I make a motion for pay request 5 to fund Snyder Electric for the work on the water meter replacement project.
I second.
Aye.
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 That brings us to our city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Fairly quickly, just a couple comments. Probably the most important one that I need to read is from Jay Sen. He's the president of Mount Pleasant Youth Baseball Association. That the 6 and under group were the World Series champions, and he wanted to invite all of you to a little ceremony tomorrow, and it's at Fair Park at 5:15 p.m. and said you're all welcome to come and celebrate with the little youngsters. So that's the important one. Secondly, for the Community National Night Out is going on right now. And simply would say in the future, I think city council just should remember, maybe we should change this date so we can all participate completely in National Night Out. Because great event, and I understand it's going on right now, and some of you might be going to places. So just a great event. And then Delwood Park, just want to say, so the city approved $2 million for improvements at Delwood Park. And Garrett Houston has held a meeting out there with some of the neighborhood just to start getting some input from that. But as far as the council goes, you can expect us to come here and get your input and insights. Probably it'll be early November, so we can move forward now. And Garrett actually took me out to the park today so we could look at some locations and some areas that we're going to do. So that's just an exciting project for the community moving forward. And certainly Garrett meeting with the community is a huge plus to get their thoughts on the park improvements. And then I wanted to say that from the beginning of my time here, city council members, you have been very clear, and you have said many times how important partnerships and relationships were and are and have been with your boards, with the Chamber of Commerce, with the downtown group. And so I just want to say it's something that will be on your list when it comes to priorities, is to continue that partnership and enhancing that and improving that in all areas. So just a couple of those I want to earmark for you that had conversations this past week, and one is a conversation with the Chamber of Commerce in regards to something that I've been a part of, and so has Richard at the Chamber of Commerce, which is a State of the City address. To be able to have the city address the community on here is a few of our accomplishments, but here is our plans for the future, which very much ties into November, when I would ask the council, we should agendize here as kind of our work plan and strategic plan for the things we want to accomplish. So that gives the city council an opportunity to speak to the community at a State of the City address, and you can relay information to the community in that. And it's a sponsorship by the chamber, so it's a great partnership. That's something if the city council wishes to pursue or okay with, we will do that with the Chamber of Commerce. Then secondly, just to say the couple other very high priority areas for the city council is the water district, TriSud. Had a conversation with Aaron Gunn, who is the director of that, a couple meetings about that. And I think the same thing is going to happen is we're going to get together and have conversations. The city, I will be recommending, will have to look at a master plan. It hasn't been updated for a lot of years. And when you look at your partners in TriSud, they're going to want to grow, we're going to want to grow, and so we do need to be prepared for that and have a master plan on how we accomplish that. So we're going to need their information. So I would hope when we get together with them in a joint meeting as well, we can start and kick that off so that we know where they want to grow, how much they're going to grow. We can provide all the things in the contract that we've asked for, or maybe there's a need to actually redo that. But that is a great step forward, and you as a council want to see that. I had that conversation this past week with Aaron, and so we'll be moving forward with that. And then I think finally there's discussions that the city council really is excited and wanting to sit down with an EDC. There's been a lot of conversation about EDC, city, and so forth. And the bottom line to it is it's crucially important to the city's economic development that is a partnership, and it's a good one. So I think that those dates are starting to be looked at right now to do that sometime late October, November. So again, as a council goal, that's one of those things that you've talked about with me right from the beginning. We're starting to engage that and get those lined up. So I'll say congratulations to you. And so far, everybody's been very supportive of getting together. I don't want to forget the other groups out there either. So Main Street, downtown, council wants to hit all of you and be part of that and really enhance and improve those relationships. And I will tell you, cities can be so strong when everybody's partnering with each other. And I think that that's what you want, and so I'm here to help facilitate that with you. Thank you.
Carrie, this may be your last final question you have to answer. Even though it's the city manager report, I sort of have a public announcement that I'd like to make the council and the public aware of, if that's allowable.
No action or anything, just make it.
Anthony's report prompted something that happened at my house about 10 days ago. It was in the evening. I believe it or not, I was in trying to prepare some supper for my husband, which I get accused of not taking good care of him in the kitchen, but whatever. So I clean I hate it when the solicitor comes to my door when I'm not expecting it. But I looked through the little peephole, and he was dressed officially, and it appeared to be that he was with SWEPCO. Maybe some people know about this. So I thought, well, we've got a problem out here with an easement or a line, or they're working, or they're going to tell me they're, whatever's going on in the neighborhood. So I opened the door because he was dressed with a vest. Again, he looked to be like he was on a crew. I'll never do it again. I don't care how you dress. I'm not opening the door ever again. And what I want to share with the public is he was polite. He had his thing in his hand, and so I said, "May I help you?" And he goes, "Well, I'm here to help you." I said, "And how are you going to do that?" I said, "We got a problem?" He goes, "Well, yes." He said, "Yes, you have an electricity problem." And I said, "I do." And he said, "Well, are you having a hard time paying your bill?" I said, "Well, I'm having a hard time paying all my bills." I said, "What's the point?" And he said, and he had some kind of a thing, some piece of paper. He looked very official. And I fell into it for just a minute. I'm getting to where I fall for these phishing schemes and all these setups. For those of you getting a few gray hair, it's hard for us to know and be aware. So I want to warn the public. Anyhow, to put it, I said, "Are you with SWEPCO?" I asked him that. And he said, "Yes, we work with them." He was very good, very articulate, very well prepared for my question. Come to find out, he wanted to sell me solar panels. Okay? He brought out the little thing, the energy uses. He said, "Right here's where it costs you all the money, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I just wanted to make the council aware of it. I wanted to make the city manager, law enforcement. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we need to do to protect our citizens from that sort of thing more, where there's impersonators coming in, knocking on a door and making, I feel like if I can open the door and have to deal with that, there's a lot of people that are not as aware that was not correct as I might be because of my time here. So I just really hate it for citizens that are blindsided. And it's bad enough on the phone and computer when you're getting scammed, but dadgummit, we gotta do something where we can. I don't know what we can do, but people in authority, if we can help protect the citizens from that sort of ambush, and after I got in and cooled off, I wish I'd have had him back, because I'd have really given him a piece of my mind, but it took me off guard. So thank you for allowing me to make that public service announcement. Thank you. The citizens need to know that as well. For those of you listening, we've had a couple people here tonight speak up that said we do have an ordinance, and if you have a solicitor come and you can call the PD. There's an ordinance to deal with that. So thank you again for people online listening. We do have something to handle that. So use it. And I don't know the phone number, but you call City Hall and get it, whatever you need.
I appreciate that, and thank you for that information. It's very important that you make that call, because people need to be registered, otherwise you'll have those scam artists. So great conversation, but all should make sure they make that call.
I almost burned my supper that night.
That's the end of our meeting. We adjourn.